That's like my version of the, what's the Mexican dance?
La Cucaracha?
I don't know what it's called. I'm in a dancing mood today. Welcome to another edition of the Craig Card Show. That guy right there is Tyron A. Johnson. This might be the single best day of the sports year. I know a lot of people, it's opening day baseball. A lot of people, it's the opening weekend of NFL football. Certainly respect that.
March Madness.
For some people, it's March Madness. Heck, some of you might be U.S. Open, golf fans, Masters fans, tennis fans. Today, I think lays claim for a lot of us. That's certainly in the conversation for one of the great days. I'm just going through it with you real quick, right? Tonight at 8 o'clock Eastern time, draft NFL round 1.
That's right.
All right, that's at 8 o'clock. Knicks Hawks game 3 tonight at 8 o'clock.
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock. Nuggets Wolves tonight, game 3. Cavs Raptors tonight, game 3. If you're a hockey fan, their season starts tonight as well. Sabres and Bruins, Avs and Kings, Canes and Senators, all game 3s. You've got the Yankees looking to sweep the Red Sox tonight. You've got the Mets trying to win their second game in a row. You've got the best West Coast rivalry, Dodgers-Giants, and the Philadelphia Phillies have now lost 8 consecutive games. My head's going to explode with excitement for all the action tonight.
Well, my Flyers did win. They beat Pittsburgh.
Yes.
But if we're honest.
That was yesterday, though.
Yeah, well, no, if you're
That's
going to bring
not
up.
today.
You mentioned the loss last night from the
That's
Phillies.
not
What about
today.
the playoff win last night?
Yeah, the Flyers got a playoff win. They're up 3-0 against
3-0.
Pittsburgh. That series is now officially a wrap. Game 4 is in Philly tomorrow or Saturday.
Saturday.
Yeah. There you go. So,
Saturday.
Congratulations to your Flyers.
Thank you.
That's all the stuff happening tonight. Like, what a great night it is.
Great night.
For those of us that love sports, great sports bar action tonight. Great party atmosphere tonight, Thursday night, whatever city you might be in. And it is absolutely awesome. And then as we went to bed last night, watching all the action last night, like you said, the Flyers won a big game. Yankees beat the Red Sox. Mets get their first win in 13 tries. At 12:32 a.m., a press release went out yesterday, hoping that it would not make the newspapers. They were successful in regards to actual tangible newspapers. But, of course, the New England Patriots apparently forgot that nobody reads newspapers anymore. We get all our news and we react to that news online on one of 30 different social media platforms. And the story they tried to squeeze by us is that Mike Vrabel is now going to counseling. I assume it's marital counseling. They didn't differentiate what type of counseling it is. But he is now going to miss Saturday's day 3 of the NFL draft. So this is emergency counseling. But if I may be the guy to ask the obvious questions, if this counseling that he's going to is such an emergency, right?
Yeah.
Why not go today? Why not go yesterday? Right?
Right.
Why skip day 3 of the NFL draft on Saturday, where the Patriots have 8 of their 11 picks in this year's draft, when you could simply go on Sunday or on Monday, when whatever therapy, counseling session or counselor you're going to go to? It just doesn't make sense. If it's an emergency to get counseling, then you go yesterday.
Of course you do.
You check yourself in, you walk into the therapy center, and you sit down and you bare your soul, right?
Yeah.
Or you go today. So the fact that at 12:30 last night, the New England Patriots and Mike Vrabel announced that he is going to be skipping day 3 of the NFL draft, where the Patriots have 8 of their 11 picks, tells you a couple of things. There's a chance now that Mike Vrabel gets fired, A. And B, the New England Patriots and Mike Vrabel must be scared to death that something else is coming, because they're trying to get ahead of whatever the next iteration of this story is, whether that's other women, whether that's more photographs with Dianna and Russini. 3 photographs came out of the New York Post early this morning. None of them are all that objectionable, other than it just lends more credence to the story of what was going on. The 3 pictures, you see 2 of them right there. They are, again, lounging by the pool in one of them, and in the other 2, they're eating breakfast alone at that resort. The reason you go to counseling when you don't want to go to counseling, or when someone says it's an emergency visit to a counselor, is because you are worried about what's coming next, meaning something else is coming next when it comes to Mike Vrabel and the New England Patriots.
You know, his hubris now pisses me off. When the initial story came out, they could have waited a little while, talked to a PR person before they released that statement. Now think about what you just said about him doing counseling during the NFL draft.
I want to
as
be
a head
clear.
coach.
Tonight's just one round.
Right.
Patriots have one pick. Tomorrow, they do the second round.
That's
okay?
the third, yep.
And the third round.
They have one
and then
pick.
on Saturday, they've got 8 picks. So they've got 3 picks in the next 2 days, and then they have 8 picks on Saturday. So you're telling me the head of the organization, the head coach, suddenly does not need to be in the draft room for 8 of the Patriots' 11 picks because he needs emergency counseling for what's going on. But it's not a big enough emergency to go yesterday, to go today, or to go tomorrow. He can wait 3 days till Saturday to go, but he can wait 4 days and go on Sunday. That does not make sense.
Doesn't make any sense. And that initial statement where he said it was laughable. Laughable. Now, had he just been quiet then, talked to a professional, but this is how I know it was his hubris that makes them do that statement.
It's either his hubris or it's a lousy job by the crisis management PR firm that has tried to lead him and the Patriots through all of this.
Right.
But go ahead.
One or the other. But I believe it's his hubris. And now, weeks later, because remember, a couple weeks ago, it was laughable. Because what he could have did if it was real was go to counseling then. But it was laughable then.
Correct.
Now, if you're a Patriots fan or NFL fan, the NFL draft is the majority of the players. When you make the Super Bowl, you draft, and then you fill in the rest with free agency. The draft is most important for the good teams. That's how they get the majority of their players. And he's missing that. But it was laughable 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And I find it to be insulting.
Well, because it went from laughable when you thought you could get away with it, and when nobody bought your excuses or your defenses to it, and people started to research it, suddenly when people realized that you had lied and you're obviously having this affair, it became a lot less laughable. And don't look at what, and then consider what the Patriots have tried to do here in the last couple of days. They tell the reporters that there's a couple players available to talk about the draft, but they never tell them that Mike Vrabel's available because they don't want the entirety of the Boston or the national media showing up for the press conference. He goes to the press conference. That's 48 hours ago. And 48 hours ago, there's no conversation whatsoever about the fact that he might miss one of the 3 days of the draft.
Correct.
And for them, the day when they have the majority of their picks. So what could have happened in the last 48 hours where they went from Mike Vrabel's back, he's running things, to, emergency counseling, and now I'm going to miss day 3 of the draft? Something else is about to drop, and they know it's about to drop. And I'm not quite sure if Mike Vrabel is safe anymore as the head coach of the New England Patriots. We got much more on that coming up. Appreciate you checking us out. We got lots of stuff today to go over. But you know, everybody's talking about weight loss injections because results are A, so dramatic, and B, make you a lot healthier. They lower your blood sugar, they reduce your appetite. But who wants an injection? It hurts, right? Who wants to deal with the side effects like throwing up all day, as I've read about some people? That's why the doctors over at Brickhouse Nutrition invented this: lean weight loss. That's right, and it's for people that have serious weight to lose. If you're looking to drop a pound or 2, have some broccoli. If you're looking to lose 10 or more pounds, trust me on this one, lean weight loss. And right now, you get 20% off your order when you go to takelean.com. That is 20% off your order. Go to takelean.com. The promo code is my last name, Carton, like the box. Go to takelean.com, and I promise you, in no time at all, you'll start dropping the lbs. You'll feel great. You'll look better. You'll be healthier. And you write me letters saying, thank you so much for telling me to go to takelean.com. to the Craig Carton Show. This is a breaking news just came across our desk. We'll do more on Vrabel and the Patriots and the draft coming up. But it's now being reported, for those of you that love soccer, that there's a move afoot right now to have Iran taken out of the World Cup play coming up this summer here throughout multiple sites in the United States, and have them replaced with Italy. Italy hasn't qualified, I think, for 3 consecutive World Cups now. And there's a chance that Italy might be handpicked to be in the World Cup to replace Iran. How about that? I'm all for it.
See, I got two words.
The Italian women are much better looking.
Wait, this
no
is
disrespect to the gals from Iran.
But this is the men's World Cup.
What happened?
This is the men's World Cup.
They got female fans that show their boobies on TV.
See, will they? And here's the tough part I have about it.
Yeah.
The Iranian soccer players haven't done anything wrong.
No, they have not.
If you want to say
fact, they're in harm's way.
Right.
Because some of them are going to want to stay here when they get here.
Right.
Probably not going to let them. The guys that denounce their country go back home, and now they're dead.
Right.
And that's I know we're kind of smiling about it. That's real.
That's real.
Yeah, but I still think because of what's happening in the world, while it's not fair to those guys to be punished or penalized, F that. Penalize the country. Iran out, Italy in. Raise your hands. Who doesn't support that?
Now, is this just women related?
You didn't raise your hand.
Because Italy stinks anymore at soccer.
Even better. I'd like to beat Italy in soccer.
Well, they're not America's group.
Well, I don't know who's in what group, but if I have a choice, Italian fans coming here and watching the World Cup, Iranian fans?
They're not coming. It would be Iranians already here.
I want Italy.
You know what?
And I'm not even a World Cup guy. More Italians, the better.
I mean, okay. Now,
I got close there.
I got close.
I almost got myself in trouble there.
Now, is it the food?
It's everything.
It's everything?
The food's great. The country's beautiful. The women are dynamite. Yeah.
Now you're not worried about the volatility.
And they're not very good at soccer, apparently.
Not anymore. You're not worried at all about the women's volatility.
The women's volatility?
Yeah.
I've been hit with a wooden object before.
By an Italian woman or different?
No, by my mother.
Oh, well, no.
And she's not Italian, but she might as well have been.
I've heard.
She's rolling out the dough next, thwack. Yeah. I've had it happen. So it's breaking news that this is going to be decided maybe in the next week or so, that Iran might be taken out of the World Cup and replaced with Italy. And I don't know a single person on the planet that's going to say no to that.
No, I got to see
outside of the fans of the Iranian soccer team.
Now I want to see where Iran's playing to see where Italy will now play.
It doesn't even matter, Tyrone.
No, where in America where they're going to play.
Less Iran, more Italy.
That's L.A.
Yeah.
So that doesn't affect us,
and
though.
Listen, you and I both have a dear friend who married a lovely Iranian woman.
Yes.
Lovely Iranian woman.
She's a saint.
I love her to death.
And very smart.
Salt of the earth. She's a brilliant woman.
Yep. A scientist.
They got beautiful children.
Yeah.
Love her to death. And her family escaped Iran.
Went to Sweden.
And went to Sweden, as many Iranians do. This is not an anti-Iranian people commentary.
Yeah.
But let's be honest. When's the last time you woke up and said, hey, honey, we should go to that new Iranian restaurant?
I have no idea what they eat.
Right.
You could tell me anything right
Hummus,
now
I guess.
outside of pork, and I'd believe it.
Right?
And I'd be like, oh, yeah, okay, sure, that's an Iranian dish.
When's the last time you and your wife were like, hey, honey, let's go to NJ Pack, that new Iranian pop singer's in town?
Never once.
Right.
Now, Italian opera?
Bang.
Now, that's real music right there.
Hey,
Italian opera.
New Italian restaurant serving cacio e pepe. I want in.
It's beautiful.
This
it's
is
beautiful.
a no-brainer for America.
It's wasted on Los Angeles, though.
What's that? Italian people?
I wish Team Italy was playing in Philly or New York.
As do I, by the way.
All the way in L.A. is where they would play. That's where they would replace Iran.
And they're not very good, so they're not going to get to the quarterfinals.
Yeah, they're going to end up out in L.A. It's a waste.
Yeah.
They need to shift it around and move one of the teams that were playing here to L.A. Italy has to be on the East Coast.
When's the last time you said to your wife, honey, instead of lasagna tonight, I want shawarma? Like, we don't have these.
No one's ever said that, though. Not even in Iran. They're sitting there going, man.
Hey, do me a favor. Less Parmesan cheese, more hummus. No one's ever said that.
No one's ever said that.
Exactly.
The French mozzarella, the flavors, the seasonings, it's beautiful. It's superior food.
That's what
cuisine.
I think.
But the women.
Hey, do me a favor. Less oregano, more paprika. Nobody ever said that.
Now, a smoked paprika, very nice.
That's your
A
job.
regular paprika, it's a waste. It's just coloring.
Yeah, I just saw that. It just came across my Twitter account. So, yeah, I don't know if it's happening or not, but I know that anytime we talk about soccer on this show, it lights up.
People get...
It's like a Christmas tree.
And people, stop getting mad. We're not going to call it football. I see that in the comments. It's soccer here in America.
Yeah, and we make no apologies for picking one country over another country.
No.
Right?
No.
Open up the Straits and the Gays of Hormuz, and maybe we'll change our mind. But what do you say?
The gays are where... I know where the Strait is.
Yeah.
Where are the gays?
I don't know.
I know where the Straits are.
Yeah.
And there's apparently booby traps
We
right
don't
now.
care about the Gays of Hormuz, only the Straits.
So there's no booby traps in the gays, but there's tons of booby traps in the Straits.
To be fair,
Yeah,
for sure.
Gays don't need the
For
boobies.
sure there are booby traps.
There's booby traps
For
in the Straits.
For sure.
Big old booby traps. No booby traps at all in the gays.
No.
Don't need any of them.
No, a lot of chalkboards.
Yeah. None of that. None of that. All right. So that's the conundrum that we're in right now.
We are in a conundrum.
And all serious for a moment, it does make a lot more sense under the circumstances.
It does,
It really does. It is wasted though in LA.
For our purposes.
For our purposes.
Yes. And I do feel bad for the men that have trained their entire lives.
They've done nothing wrong. They've done nothing wrong.
These are, people that just want to play soccer.
Yeah, they're young 20s, most of them. They just want to play
soccer. That being said, I'll still take Italy over Iran all day, every day.
You have a choice.
Yeah.
It's a tough thing. And it's not just Iraq, Kuwait,
Turkey.
Right, I
take Italy over all of them.
All of them.
Absolutely right, 100%.
It's just the region.
So listen, tonight is the first night of the NFL draft. I saw Jay Glazer, our colleague at Fox, saying that something major is going to happen tonight. He's not at liberty to say it, which is a weird thing when you're an NFL insider.
Right.
If you've got something, go with it. But he did say there's something really juicy that is going to happen tonight. He can't say it until that team is on the clock, out of respect to his sources. I've known Jay a long time. He's not one of these guys that usually throws crap against the wall
I agree with that.
and hopes it sticks. So I'm going to take him at his word because he's very good at what he does. And that starts making me think, will it be the Jets at 2? Will it be the Giants at 5 and 10?
The Chiefs?
Will it be the Titans?
Titans.
In a top 5 scenario?
Could be the Chiefs.
Will it be the Chiefs with 2 first-round picks? So we'll get into the NFL draft coming up throughout this show. But tonight's going to be a great night as Fernando Mendoza blows off the draft because he hates Pittsburgh.
Yes.
By setting the play-in up like this, what the NBA is letting everybody know is that the back-to-backs are completely unacceptable and the worst thing about their schedule. And these fools,
now they give them 3 days off for one game. Yeah.
They're so scared of back-to-backs, they go, not even in the play-in could we dream of giving anybody a back-to-back.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
Whatever your next job is, the first 24 hours, it's going to be a rehashing of this. You have to suck that up. You can't avoid that. Like, I haven't been in prison in 7 years.
But people do bring it up.
And every story written about me still references the fact that I got in trouble.
Right.
So, unfortunately, you have to live with that the rest of your professional career.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
Do you think technology and those earpieces, again, when it comes to the development of the quarterbacks, is hurt the game?
The development of the quarterback position is getting worse and worse and worse because you don't see live action, you don't get game time experience, and you're going to have to develop in a slower way. And to me, if you don't have the people around you, it's going to be a tough road to be able to play the game.
Outspoken with Dan Cilio, only on SportsGrid.
The level of involvement with the government and the universities is just absolutely hilarious. You got nothing else going that you got to be this involved here across the board? I do not get it, Donnie. I really don't. But that just goes to show you how much it means here to certain individuals in politics.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back to the Craig Carton Show. Tyrone Johnson here. We got draft stuff coming up. This is actually a quick segment for us. I just wanted to go back to the Vrabel thing for a second. So Mike Vrabel, 12:30 in the morning last night, it's announced that Mike Vrabel is skipping day 3 of the NFL draft, the day the Patriots have 8 of their 11 draft picks for quote-unquote emergency counseling in reaction to you're cheating on his wife. So then I started to think, well, who is, assuming he is going to counseling, I mean, maybe he is, maybe he's not. He's lied about everything else.
Right.
So maybe he's lying about this as well.
Because it avoids him having to talk at the end of the draft about it.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, and why? Who announces at 12:30 in the morning that your head coach is going to be missing the draft 3 days from now? You could have waited till Saturday. And by the way, you're not in public anyway.
Right.
You know, you could have turned the camera off in the draft room, or you could have said on Saturday, Mike Vrabel's participating, from home,
right,
or whatever the case may be. So I'm trying to figure out and be logical about why the Patriots and Mike Vrabel would announce 3 days in advance that he's not going to be around for the NFL draft and make the point of he's going for emergency counseling. The obvious answer is his wife, right?
Yes.
His wife says to him, if you want me to take you seriously and give you a chance to repair our marriage and still be a father to our children and husband to me before I take half of what you got, you need to prove it to me. Well, how's he going to prove it? One of the biggest days of the year for any team is the draft day. And they have 8 picks on Saturday. So maybe he says to his wife, I'll show you how much I mean it. I'm a man of my word. I will go with you to counseling and blow off the NFL draft. That would be a pretty major step.
It would. It would win.
Right?
It would likely win some points under the circumstances.
But if you're his wife and you're already jilted because he went outside of your marriage and had this affair that's now very public, and you're rightfully so steaming hot mad, what's the difference between Saturday, Sunday, and Monday?
Nothing.
Not really anything.
Nothing.
Right? So if you were going to go to emergency counseling and you cared about me, obviously you would have cheated in the first place. But secondly, you would have already been going.
Yeah.
So let's take the wife out of it for a second. Is it possible that the New England Patriots are aware that there's a second bomb about to drop involving him, and they want to get ahead of that bomb dropping by having him seeking out help prior to that bomb dropping?
Yep.
Now, I can give you just from my own experience, I went to rehab for gambling for the wrong reasons. I went and announced that I was going to rehab so that the judge might look at me in a better light and be easier in her sentencing of me.
Right.
So I've lived a different scenario, of course, but sometimes you do things publicly because you want the public on your side before the next thing happens.
Tiger Woods right now.
Yeah.
We know that Tiger probably doesn't think he has a problem. But he's going to rehab because he flipped the car and the cops actually, or the prosecutor.
Correct.
So now he's going to rehab.
And you want the judge to see, hey, this guy acknowledged he had a problem before I sentenced him and threw down my my gavel on the thing, and then I'm going to be easier on him, right? So if that's the case, that allows the mind to wander. And that means either other women, certainly on the table.
Can't rule that out at all.
B, the relationship with Dianna Russini predates his tenure at New England, which we all believe it does anyway.
I absolutely think
and
so.
goes into to Tennessee. Or 3, New England is now very, very concerned that an NFL investigation is going to accuse them of tampering / cheating. Robert Kraft has already paid a fine for cheating.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about the hand jobbies at that strip mall in Florida.
Yeah.
All right, that was something he got in trouble for. And the charges were only dropped there because his lawyers fought the charges because the videos they had of him receiving oral sex and also manual stimulation of his junk.
Yeah.
That's the proper way to say it.
While having Viagra with you.
Yeah. Is on camera. The videotapes, I guess, violated Florida law.
Yeah.
All right, so
You can't
that's why
film
that case didn't go
You can't
forward.
film that.
Yeah, I'm sure it's filmed all the time.
But it's not legal to film
But you
it.
can't take it to a court of law.
Yeah, say, look.
Yeah, so in any event, he's been fined before for Spygate.
Mm-hmm.
Cost him, I think, $250,000. So this apparently is the Patriots way. I'm of the belief, based on nothing at all, just life experience, there's another ball about to drop. There's another bomb about to drop. And this is New England's way and Vrabel's way of trying to get ahead of what they are afraid is coming next. Now, that could merely be more photographs, just further cementing what we all now know to be true. Or it could be a completely new scandal involving Vrabel that the Patriots are trying to get in front of. I'm not so sure that Mike Vrabel today is as safe as he thought he was yesterday as the head coach of the Patriots, and here's why. If you're Robert Kraft and the New England Patriots, how do you have 8 of your picks on Saturday get taken without your coach being involved at all?
They got to make the phone. They make the phone
not
call.
Not if you're in crisis counseling.
But 31 other coaches are making phone calls Saturday.
That's right. Not to him. So something's about to happen, and I'm glad it's happening to them and not my Jets. Draft coming up. Welcome back. Your buddy of mine also made a good point regarding Vrabel, that the third day is the day of the draft is the day the coaches also do that interview.
Yep.
When the draft is over. How do you feel about your 11 picks? So in addition to ducking the draft and going for emergency counseling, he's also ducking the media again.
Yeah, 31 other coaches will speak on that Saturday about the
and
draft.
that's why they set him up for that press conference a couple days ago without telling the media he was going to be at that press conference.
That's right.
They're trying to play chess, but they're only playing checkers in my world.
I mean,
because it's so transparent.
He's clearly guilty
at this point. And don't talk about, I need to have tough conversations. You did something as old as time.
Right.
Let's just be honest about it.
You were in the streets when you shouldn't have been in the streets.
But it's not like you did something that's been happening since Adam did the same thing.
They've been out there.
Eve was like, you want to bite my apple? He's like, man, I don't want to bite that. Yes, I want to bite that apple.
Wasn't it the other way?
I don't know what it was.
I don't know, but either way,
you know what I'm saying.
The point is, they call
He didn't say no.
Listen, people been out there doing that for a long time. We know why. We talk about the oldest profession. It's undefeated. And he fell to it.
Yeah.
Now, he shouldn't have fell to it.
And that's the thing, like, most men out there are not upset with Mike Vrabel. Now, there's anti-patriot people, anti-Vrabel people that are going to use this and like, his soapbox and be like, "This is the work of the devil. How dare ye see vagina outside of one's marriage?"
Down
that stuff
Tennessee, Southern Baptist
for sure.
people, yes.
But at the end of the day, most guys are like, "Man, I know somebody that got caught. Just come clean and move along.
Just move on."
You're not the first guy. You ain't going to be the last guy. It's the lies that piss dudes off.
Right.
Because I told you a long time ago, and I no longer live this, but I can tell you that my mantra in life for a long time, until I went wayward, was you lie to women and children. You never lie to other men.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
Let that sink in. It used to be my gospel. Men are supposed to lie to women and children, but you don't lie to other men. Okay. Right? Now, I can no longer live by that, of course, because I made bad decisions as well, got me all caught up in the system.
And no one should live that.
I'm not
you should
saying
do no lying at all.
You should live a life of honesty.
Right.
Yes, you should.
You should.
But if I'm keeping it real, if you're gonna lie, you lie to women and children. You don't lie to men. Okay, I'm not saying anyone should ever live their life that way, but let's keep it real, right?
Yeah.
The reason so many people are now jumping on Vrabel and, taking their shots at him, but that's pretty quick, right?
Pretty quick.
Yeah, I still can't get a rabbit. I've been trying for years.
Would you use a bow and arrow?
Yeah, I've been trying for years, dude.
Now, hold on.
Yeah.
Why?
Because it'd be a great accomplishment for me. I have a bow and arrow at home. Not like a crossbow, nothing like that.
A proper bow and arrow.
I got like a Dick's Sporting Goods.
Yeah,
but like $50 bow and arrow.
But they tighten them and it gets pretty good velocity.
Yeah, right? So I like to go around my backyard.
Okay.
And I got a quiver.
Right.
And I got like 10 hours in that quiver.
Yeah.
And I try to be Robin Hood. And I got like a cheesy plastic. It's not a great bow, but it's a bow. And I walk around. What's that Marvel character, the Avenger guy?
Hawkeye.
That's me.
Yeah.
I go out there like I'm Hawkeye. And I go just like that. Just like that. And I have like this.
But you
like
don't. Now, have you shot at a target? Can you hit a tree?
I hit a target. I'm pretty good. Like, I'm not great. I'm decent.
But you think your goal is to hit a rabbit?
My goal, one of my life goals.
Yeah.
I go out there, and this is the time of year rabbits are now popping up everywhere.
Springtime.
Right? Yeah. I cannot get a rabbit. And I'm going to eat the rabbit, the whole thing. Yeah,
now
skin it, eat it.
Another question.
Yeah.
What would Jewish Robin Hood be named?
Oh, geez, I didn't even think.
Well, Jewish Robin Hood. I mean, it fits. What would Jewish Robin Hood? Slow-mo?
No, slow.
I don't know. I'm getting fed to me from a Jewish person. I don't know all the names. I only knew Joel, but they pronounce all the syllables. It's not a one syllable.
You say shlomo or slow-mo?
Slow-mo. What's the name? Slow-mo.
Yeah.
Like, is it Rabinski?
No, I think it's the Jewish Robin Hood would be Rabinowitz Hood.
Rabinowitz.
Yeah.
Rabinowitz Hood. I'm just wondering.
Yeah.
Like, look at that Jewish Robin Hood.
What are we having for Passover? Boom.
I got it.
We're not having rabbit. Yeah, I'm trying to get a rabbit, man. I've been trying to get a rabbit. Yeah, I can't get a rabbit.
Yeah.
Kill it. It's killing me.
All right, now.
I can hit a deer. Now, I don't have a strong enough bow
to
go
through.
It.
Yeah, that
so
might be inhumane. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm trying to get these rabbits, man. And when I get one, you'll be eating rabbit.
Yeah, I'll do that. If you kill one with a bow, sure.
But I've got this part down. I've got that down.
That's pretty cool.
good. Yeah,
that's pretty cool. Now,
my wife gets mad at me because I'm out in the backyard all the time trying to get these rabbits. There's arrows everywhere, right?
You go pick them up at the end?
And when we have dinner, and sometimes the little lady has a lot to say.
Yeah.
And I love her to death, and I blow dart her.
What?
Yeah, at dinner.
With poison?
It's
what kind of dart? What are you wearing the neck? Like a movie? What is happening?
It's actually
I've had about enough of it.
It's a air blow dart. It's like a fake blow dart.
Okay.
But sometimes she gets a little a little lippy.
Okay. I mean, I know that she's not a meek woman.
No,
I feel
she
comfortable saying that. I feel comfortable
She will tell you what's on her mind.
Yeah.
And I respect that because you know exactly how she's feeling and thinking. I'm not like that. So we'll be sitting at dinner, and she looking at me, right? And I'll go like this. Yeah. You haven't done that to your wife?
No, I don't do that to people.
You got to blow dart your wife tonight.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Just like that.
Come on
She'd be
now.
like, what are you doing? Blow darting you. You got to stop talking.
First of all, black people aren't allowed to blow dart. Okay, that's
Your
not
wife's
allowed.
not black?
Yeah, but I am. That's enough. That's a felony. It'd be
Yeah.
a misdemeanor for you.
Yeah.
I get 20 years.
Like, it's funny. A buddy of mine just texted me who just got engaged. I'm not going to say his name or anything like that, right? And I'm going to advise him before he gets married. And she's a lovely gal, and I'm looking forward to meeting her in the next couple months. I'm going to suggest to him that he try out the blow dart, at dinner tonight.
Do not suggest that.
Yeah,
What is the
suggest
advice?
it. See how she reacts to it.
No.
You might learn a lot.
Listen.
If you blow dart your wife tonight, just like that, right? How she reacts might tell you something. Now, you're married 20 years and she's beautiful and you guys are good. But my buddy's engaged. He ain't married yet. Blow dart her. Just see how she reacts.
She's going to leave him.
No.
Why
you
do
know
you
that.
not want him to get married?
I do. I love him to death.
Did you give him that?
I love her by proxy.
Did you give him the bad advice about lie to women, lie to children, don't lie to men as well? Did you tell him that too?
He just heard it. He's listening.
Yeah, but that's not good advice.
Yeah, no. It's real, but it's keeping it real.
Yeah, but it doesn't
Like, that's
work.
why I'm so popular and beloved everywhere I've ever worked.
Yeah.
Is that I keep it real.
That's why
It's not something you discuss with your little lady, but men lie to women and children. That's your job.
you mean like to protect them?
Well, sure.
Oh.
Yeah. Mike Vrabel just should have. That's what Mike Vrabel should. He should blow dart the
I do have one actual question on the subject for you. We believe that Dianna Russini is partially got let go because we believe she lied to her bosses.
For sure, yeah.
Did Vrabel lie to his?
Yeah, 100%.
And is that in large part why he may get fired?
When he put out, I don't think he's going to get fired on that. When he put out the first press release
Of being
that this is all
laughable.
laughable, and now the Patriots like, man, you put us in a bad spot because we have your back. Right? And then it became, a real serious matter, right? Then it became a private, personal matter, and now it's I'm not going to the draft on day 3. Like, I can't remember in my lifetime an active coach not going to the draft. I've never seen that before in my life. And again, I totally get you going through something. You got wife, you got kids that are involved, and they're going through something. We need to be sensitive to their plot in life right now. But if you can't coach, then don't coach.
Right.
Like, it's a commitment a coach makes. Being a head coach does not equate to having a great personal life. It just doesn't.
No.
The hours are crazy.
Terrible.
The workload is crazy. And your real wife is the job. And the best coaches, I don't care what level you're at, you are committed to the job more so than anything else in your life.
Yep.
So it takes a special woman to sign up to be a gal that's going to be home a lot and lonely a lot. Right?
Andy Reid's wife has not
And
seen
there's an
him.
expectation that you're not going to be a bad guy, despite the fact I don't see you 20 hours a day.
Yeah.
But then human nature takes over, which is why Mike Vrabel just should have told the truth from jump. Because more guys can relate to that than now covering up for multiple lies. So, blow dart. Trust me, it keeps a marriage alive. Carton Show. Great to have you here. Tyron Johnson, as always, sitting right here as well. I was thinking about the NFL draft tonight. Mendoza goes number 1 to the Raiders. The New York Jets might take the kid on Texas Tech, Bailey.
Yeah.
Or maybe Arvell Reese, right?
Could be either one.
And look, I've unlike most people that do what I do for a living, I really don't lie to you. I have no idea if these kids are any good.
Bailey can play.
That's
Reese
what
can play.
says. Yeah.
They played really well in college. Now, I don't know. I'm not a.
I have no idea.
You do? All right. I do believe people have saw them because they were. If you watch the college football playoff, you saw those guys.
Yeah, he's good. He's good. Oh, the kid
was
from
good
Ohio
in college.
State, he's great. He's
good in college.
But everyone, that's what bothers me about other people that do this for a living. Once a year they show up, they're like, I'm an expert now.
I know everything.
Let me give you my mock draft and let me walk you through exactly, that's a good pick. Shut up. Like, let's be honest. Can I really tell you who the best right guard is?
No,
I cannot.
Neither could I.
Can I tell you that a kid who was a rock star at Ohio State is going to be a rock star in the NFL? No, I can't.
Wide receiver, you can kind of tell.
Yeah,
because they're all good.
I think I can tell better with the wide receiver.
They're all. What was the last Ohio State wide receiver to not work out?
Yeah, well, Marvin Harris had a tough rookie season, but I still think he's a pretty good wide receiver.
Yeah, he started bouncing back last year down the stretch.
So I decided to put together my top 5 favorite things about this year's NFL draft.
Well, this is great.
And I think it's because we're not going to sit here and go, I think the Titans should take Jeremiah Love and we'll react to it, and we'll tell you what we think about it afterwards. Like, do you take a running back top 5? That kind of stuff.
Yeah, that has more to do with the positioning than the player.
My name is not Mel Kiper.
And he doesn't.
And I'm not going to pretend like it is.
And he doesn't know.
And I will react to it after the fact, and we'll do all that tomorrow, okay? But for now, I want to give you my 5 favorite things about the draft. Let's start with number 5. Throw number 5 up there, please, because I don't have it in front of me, and I may have forgotten. Oh, it's what I was just saying.
That's
NFL experts claiming to know all about the players they've never really seen play.
Never seen play.
Right? Oh, that guy had a great pro day. Oh, that guy's great. He's a great edge rusher, except his fingers are too small. Like, let's just watch it together like we're watching American Idol, right? Like, I can't believe they voted Sanjay off. That guy can sing, whatever it might be, right? Yeah. That's number 5. Number 4, favorite thing about the NFL draft. The commissioner might be the whitest guy in America.
Yes.
And I say that as a white guy, all right? His attempts of dapping dudes up and, pounding them on the back and man-hugging them is so awkward that it's like a car crash you can't turn away from, right?
Yeah.
It's like, hey, and he's almost like, you almost hear him whispering, my brother.
He does. He's like, yeah, congratulations, brother.
My brother.
Yeah,
like,
my brother. Welcome to the club.
Yeah, not everybody gets a whole pass in a hood, and Roger Goodell does not deserve one, okay?
And I don't think he likes getting picked up the way he acts like.
It's emasculating.
Yeah, he doesn't enjoy it, but what's he going to do about it?
But I'll tell you this. If you mic'd Roger Goodell up, I would not be shocked when a big lineman picks him up like you see in that picture. Yeah. If you don't hear this from Roger Goodell's mouth, wee!
A grown man saying we like that.
Wee!
Come on, you're a grown man, Roger. You're in your 50s. Come on.
Wee! By the way, that's how people knew about Bruce Jenner. All right. Number 3, favorite things about the NFL draft. NFL insiders tweeting the pick out before they get announced. Yeah. Now, the NBA has that too, to be fair. But there's no reason to even watch the draft, right?
They try to crack down. Well, they crack down now you have to say they're efforting or
the Dallas Cowboys. Last year would have been, the Dallas Cowboys are drafting Joe Jablonski out of Michigan. Yeah. And like 9 minutes later, after Dan Orlovsky's like, there's no chance they're taking Jablonski. He doesn't fit their system. The Cowboys just took Jablonski
every time.
So I like that. It's a problem in the NBA also, but it's like you almost want to put your phone away during the NFL draft.
Yeah, I try not to see.
You just watch the show as opposed to getting that alert. Oh, the Jets just took Arvell Reese. Great.
Right. Meanwhile, Mendoza hasn't even been picked yet. He hasn't even gone up to the podium yet. You already done. Yeah.
Number 2, favorite things about the draft. No matter who they draft, even when they get it wrong, and they show you the video inside the NFL draft war room, you see a bunch of pocket protector math majors in bad suits and bad clothes, awkwardly high-fiving each other like they're Elaine from Seinfeld dancing.
Yeah. Woo!
Yeah. Hey, we got our guy. High five, Billy. Way to go, Judge. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey, Steve, way to break down that tape.
And everybody has to come over. And then Howie Roseman, one guy wouldn't give him a fist bump. So you know what Howie Roseman did that after the draft? He fired him.
Because you didn't get a fist bump?
He didn't get a fist bump about a player.
He's cold-blooded.
Cold-blooded dude, Howie
Yeah.
Roseman. But everybody else was excited. It was Milton Williams. So Howie was right.
Yeah.
Player could play. Went to the
It's so
Patriots, spent
funny.
some money.
Yeah,
he fired
doing
him.
this right now, I just had a weird moment mentally. As I was driving into work today, and I admit this, I shouldn't do this, but I admit that I do. I was watching some videos driving in.
Listening to some
Yeah.
videos. Listening to videos.
No, I watch movies driving.
Listening to videos.
No, I admit
Like
it.
if you have YouTube Premium, you can listen to it without watching
That's
it.
like listening to a book. I can't. I need to watch it. I need to see it.
Audiobooks are very popular.
Yeah, I was watching The Last Mission Impossible for most of my drive-in today.
That's
but that's
not
neither,
comfortable. Anyway,
neither
go
here nor
ahead.
there.
That is.
I rewatched the racial draft from the Chappelle Show.
It's tremendous.
And I forgot one of the lines, though, that when Tiger Woods is drafted by the black group with the first overall pick, and the Chinese are very unhappy, right?
Yes.
I forgot the part where Tiger Woods, Dave Chappelle, goes back to the microphone and goes, "For shizzle."
For shizzle.
I always want to say that.
Because he says, goodbye fried rice, hello fried chicken.
Right, and then he leaves.
Leaves.
But he comes
goes back
back.
and goes,
He's got the big-ass teeth.
He goes, for shizzle. And then he walks off. And then later the Chinese draft Wu-Tang. Yeah, to get it back for the thing. They draft Wu-Tang to balance it out.
And by the way, I think the Chappelle Show might be coming back.
Yeah, that's cool. Also, our graphic, Jamarcus Russell fine. Ryan Lee fine. Kyle Brady, he was a fine pro.
Well, it's because they didn't take Warren Sapp. And Kyle Brady got drafted instead of Warren
that's
Sapp.
pretty bad.
And
All
let's
right,
give
number
you
one.
my number one favorite thing about the NFL draft. When the coach of my least favorite team blows off the last 8 picks because they got caught banging an NFL insider.
That's your favorite thing about the draft?
My favorite thing about the draft is when the coach of my least favorite team blows off the last 8 picks his team has because they got caught with banging the NFL insider.
Man.
Yeah. That's always my favorite part of the draft.
Man, I hope there's not more
And
footage.
listen, here's the 2 biggest sex scandals in the AFC East
Yeah.
are now Mike Vrabel and John Rossini, 1, and 2, Rex Ryan. But Rex Ryan was licking his wife's toes.
Yeah, he's just a footsman. He's just a footsman.
Yeah.
That's all he is.
He wasn't like licking someone else's toes.
No.
They were his wife's toes.
He's gross, but not adulterous.
We win that battle for sure. The New York Knickerbockers are NBA champions. Da 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 da. Canyon of Heroes, parade, convertibles, hot chicks in Knick jerseys. The Knicks finally get over the hump and win an NBA title. And there's me, and there's Jalen Brunson.
The Craig Carton Show. Only on SportsGrid.
I don't get it, man. Maybe this is more of a Kalshi poly market conversation to jump in on the prediction markets. But to me, this is the spot that I would roll with the Rays, man. I think they're undervalued every year, and I think they're undervalued this year again. Look, the Yankees should be the favorite. They're the best team on paper. Baltimore, Toronto, and Boston? Donnie, are they that much better than Tampa Bay? What am I missing here?
Pro Baseball Today. Only on SportsGrid.
Can't alienate your fan base. That's the problem. You know, you got to show your fan base that you're still trying to win, and you want to sell tickets in the summertime. You don't want to go into mid-May and say, all right, we're 15 games out, but it's still only early May. No, fans will stay away. So you don't have the luxury anymore of just waiting. So someone's got to get fired. One of these teams is going to fire someone by the end of the month.
In-game live. Only on SportsGrid.
There are guys are great. We don't know that about Cal Raleigh. It is possible that Cal Raleigh isn't one of the 5 best catchers in baseball by the end of this season. And that's the difference. It's not possible that Aaron Judge isn't one of the 5 best outfielders in baseball. That's not on the board. It's on the board for Cal Raleigh.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
Hey, is any party you think's text that Trevion Henderson's like, hey, coach, remember when you admonished me for quoting Bible passages? Maybe an apology?
Which one of us needs Jesus more right now, Mike?
There's a Lord above, and there's a Lord below.
You're looking up at us right now while I'm looking down on you, sir.
Exactly right. NBA tonight. Huge game threes tonight, by the way.
Yeah.
One quick note, it is official. Wemby is out for game 3 in the Trailblazers Spurs series. They do think he might be able to come back for game 4.
It is possible.
Once he gets to concussion protocol. But, it's a reminder, man. One little thing could happen to somebody, and it changes the entire landscape of a postseason.
Brunson last year against the Pacers.
Yeah, the whole team was banged up for that series. And then Halliburton gets hurt, so the Pacers are a no-show this year.
Yeah.
Obviously, you saw that with Tatum. But it's interesting. Tonight, this is the most pressure the Knicks have had on them since last year's playoffs.
Yes.
Because the regular season was largely irrelevant. We knew they were going to be a 50-win team. They were. We knew they were going to be in the playoffs. They are. I believe the Knicks are just a much better overall team than the Atlanta Hawks are. But because we blew that 12-point fourth quarter lead, now you put yourself in a spot. The New York Knicks have to win tonight's game. You got to reclaim home court advantage, and you want to make it possible where you could come back home next Tuesday, game 5, and close it out. All right, so tonight is an interesting game. The only other time this year that the Knicks have played with any amount of pressure, and to be fair, it's not even close, was the Emirates Cup, which they won, and they beat the San Antonio Spurs out there in Las Vegas to win the Emirates in-season tournament, right? That's not even close to what this is. And this is one of those games where I think and I assume they've done this already, when you break down the 8 quarters they've played against the Atlanta Hawks, you've had 4 quarters thus far where Karl-Anthony Towns was the best player on the court.
Yes.
You've had 4 other quarters in this series in which he damn near was held scoreless. Now, in game 1, he said he was rusty. He took ownership of that. Only attempted 3 shots or 4 shots in the entire first half, and then turned his game on in the second half, and the Knicks ran away with the win. If you look at game 2, Karl-Anthony Towns was dominant in the third quarter. He sat out the first 5 or 6 minutes of the fourth quarter.
Which is the normal rotation he does.
And then he only took 2 total shots in the fourth quarter. So as the Hawks made their run, we became one-dimensional. We became hero ball, isolation ball, old school Carmelo Anthony for the New York Knicks type of ball. And it was just Jalen Brunson doing everything. He's the guy you want taking the last shot. I'm not saying he's not. But when Karl-Anthony Towns, who is unguardable by the Atlanta Hawks, only attempts 2 shots in the fourth quarter, and one of those shots was from 24 feet away, a 3-point attempt, and the other one was kind of like a driving off bounce, almost like a hook shot that he also missed.
The shots, I hate that he takes those.
Yeah, it's a problem. So my hope, this is where Mike Brown's got to prove to Knicks fans that he is a good basketball coach. I need Karl-Anthony Towns from the jump. And I need Karl-Anthony Towns playing 40 minutes tonight. All right? This is not a game in which you can kind of dick around with, you're only going to play 32 minutes because that's our regular season rotation. Tonight's the game where the bench does get shortened up. Alvarado probably doesn't play. Deuce only plays sparingly. And I ride my horses. Because the New York Knicks cannot afford to lose game 3 and then find themselves with a must-win game 4 on the road with an empowered team now that's playing with house money.
You're absolutely right about that. And then the other thing, the Hawks have found a 2-man game with Johnson and McCollum. The Knicks need to find their 2-man game, and it has not really been going so far in 2 games. Really, you can make the argument as far as a well-run offense, the Hawks' offense has been better overall than the Knicks' offense.
But specifically because of not using Towns properly.
Right.
Now, Mike Brown's got to eat some of that. Jalen Brunson's the point guard. He's got to eat some of that.
And some of his
And Karl-Anthony Towns has to eat some of that.
That's cat.
You got to demand the basketball. You can't sit back and go, well, I didn't get the ball. Jalen just made a decision to go elsewhere. No.
He pouts a little bit,
This is where you need to say, give me the rock. And I need to see like a 40-point night tonight out of Karl-Anthony Towns and a double-digit point win. The Knicks are barely favorites in this game.
1.5.
And they opened up as underdogs in this game.
Only 1.5.
So the money's on New York. It should be. And I'll tell you something else. If we're going to lose a series to a team whose best offensive player in that series is a 36-year-old CJ McCollum.
34.
Then let's just turn in our basketball cards now. And I respect McCollum a lot. He's had a really nice career out of Lehigh. Mm-hmm. He took 22 shots in game 2, made 12 of them, and was clutch in the last 5 minutes of that game as the Hawks made their run to beat the Knicks in game 2. CJ McCollum wouldn't start for the Knicks. You cannot allow him to be the reason we go home early. So pressure on the Knicks tonight. Enjoy the draft tonight. Enjoy all the other sporting events tonight. And we'll cap them all off tomorrow morning, me and Tyrone with you here on The Carton Show.